So here's the question. Is the Derringer by Barbeques worth it for your truck? We're going to answer that question in this video. Most of you guys know I've done a lot of tow tests up at 6% grade this year, and I've had nothing but problems with my trucks overheating. Not this truck, but I've tested the Ford Lightning. I've tested a lot of the V8s, and I've seen oil and coolant temps exceed 250 degrees. I haven't even posted at this point the Ford EcoBoost video that I did like about a month ago now. Wait till you see that, because do you guys think that truck overheated? You'll be shocked to see. So why did I do these upgrades to my truck? A lot of you guys have been asking me to do upgrades for a long time. I just never really had the funds to do these things. Now I make a little bit extra money to do these things. So I've decided to, as they used to call it back in the day, hook up my truck. So yes, I have the cold air intake by Barbeques, the boost tubes, turbo inlet, and the almighty Derringer. Now, I had showed you guys, or I might have mentioned the horsepower and torque for this system. I had said it was 519 horsepower and 1,068 pound-feet of torque. Now remember, when Barbeques did their announcement, they were measuring the increase to the wheels. Regardless of that, I am going to be doing this tow test over. You guys saw the footage. I had an error happen. Barbeques has since fixed that. The reason why it had the error was because they set the parameters too low, because the reality is, if you want to make safe performance, this is how you do it. Barbeques is #1 at the top of the food chain because they have a little bit more insight into the automotive world, working with manufacturers, especially for GM. And I love how they've tuned this Derringer to protect the transmission. So what I did these last few months was show you, if you're someone who's simply not going to delete their truck, I'm not going to delete my truck, and I want my warranty, I want my compliance, this is the next best thing if you don't want to delete. Every upgrade that I've done has made an increase to my truck. My fuel economy is significantly better because of that. And the boost tube, turbo inlet, and this Derringer, they just work together to give you the best power efficiency. One thing I like about the Ford high output Power Stroke is because of the extra horsepower and torque that that truck has, along with the gearing, the truck doesn't have to downshift as much because there's so much horsepower in every gear. So when you give it 30, even sometimes 40% throttle, it doesn't downshift. And when you have these upgrades on your truck, guess what? It doesn't downshift. So I built a emissions compliant truck for you guys, okay? That's what I did for you. I built a emissions compliant truck. If you're not going to delete your truck, but you still want a little bit more out of your truck, the only thing I have not been able to do, because they haven't released yet, is the exhaust. That's it. Apart from that, I've done just about every upgrade that you can do, which would help with boost and performance, out of the Barbeques catalog. And I have the Cool Runner oil pan, which I still think to this day is an absolute game changer for sure. Now, with all that being said, stay to the end of this video. I have an announcement. I've built an emission compliant truck for you. What do you think I'm going to do next? Let's jump into the video. So I got a little different camera view for you guys today. I want to show you, obviously, the temperature. So I figured on this test, since we're doing a redo, all that good stuff, it might be a better idea just to show you guys this angle, and then I'll just do a second camera view when we get to the top there. But again, this is not going to be like the full test. We're just going to do a quick, you know, run up the grade, and that's pretty much it. I'm not even showing you guys fuel economy because I already showed that to you in the last video. But regardless of that, this Derringer, it's been updated along with the i-Pro, and now we're going to see, can this truck hit 80 miles an hour? Now it's 88 degrees outside, so it's not as sunny, but it's still pretty warm, okay? So yeah, once we get to the grade, I'll show you guys at the start there, and then we'll see what kind of mile an hour we get. Now I will say there's a little bit more traffic today, so hopefully I don't have to use the left lane. I hate jumping over in the left lane personally, but if I do have to, I will, so you guys can at least see how well the truck can do. But I'm in the level 6 right now. Let me show it to you. So you can go up and down. So you have stock, level 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 gives you the maximum horsepower and torque for the Derringer. So I'll check back in once we get up at the grade. You guys see the density altitude there? 7,800 feet. Okay. And you guys, outside temperature, we're pretty much like what is it, 5,100 feet. So we're pretty much climbing up. So it dropped a few degrees. It was 88. Now you guys see it's dropping even more, 85. But yeah, like I said, we'll be at that grade in like 5 minutes. And we'll go ahead and see what this truck can do. But what I can tell you is, just letting you know now, I think we're gonna hit 80 miles an hour. You guys ready? Here we go. Fans just kicked on. So it's pretty much beat the cold air intake and boost tubes with turbo inlet. That topped off at 77. There it is. Can it give me one more? Can it pass the high output power stroke? I knew it would hit 80. '81. It beat the high output power stroke. It beat the high output power stroke. So there it is. Told you guys, the Derringer is a game changer. It's the icing on top of the cake, as I've said in the past. Wow. You guys see those temperatures? 228 for the oil. Man, that felt good. That felt good. I mean, my goodness. This truck's a beast now. In the past, the Gen 2 L5P, I don't think that it could go much more than 75. I think it topped off at 75, just like the Cummins does. The Cummins tops off at 75 mile an hour going up this grade. And really the high output power stroke and the standard output are the only ones that would really surpass it. Now I've had other trucks that did too. I believe the Gen 2 L5Ps might have did like 77 maybe, but that's about it. And I mean, of course, I've tested these trucks at different temperatures, so in the wintertime it doesn't really count because you're not dealing with these hot temperatures. But for the truck to get hot like it does, I mean, you guys saw those temps. I mean, I couldn't see the... Actually, is my truck in a regen? My truck is regenning, by the way, too, by the way. So I did that with a regen. What? Wow. I did that with a regen, guys. I didn't even see it, but my truck is doing a regen. So here are the numbers. The only ones that I changed were these two. So when I did the high output power stroke the second time, remember I did a redo on that too, because the first truck, despite that truck having a regen, you know, I think it only hit maybe 75 or 77. I can't remember now off the top of my head, but that truck struggled going up the grade. Now that truck has a 355 and it has 35-inch tires. This high output power stroke was just a platinum with the 20-inch wheels, so 34-inch tires. And my truck, you guys see, because of the aluminum bodies, my truck is heavier. Not making excuses here, but I know someone's going to try to chime in and say, well, your density altitude was a little bit lower. Well, when it was 9,500 feet, if I didn't have the Derringer error, I think I would have still went 80, 81 miles an hour. So there's that too. So as I've said, this is the best way to go if you're looking to build a truck. I think that Banks has done a great job with their upgrades. They're not just ornaments, as people might call them. They actually do make a difference for your performance, for your temperatures, for your fuel economy. I've proven that. I keep proving these things. So should you buy the Derringer? Absolutely. I think that if I were in the market, I would buy the Derringer. I think that is worth it. And I think that with the cold air intake and everything else with it, it just gives you that perfect truck that you didn't get from the factory. That's the best way to put it. Since you stayed to the end, I did it. Everything is ordered. And by the time you see this video, my ECM would have been shipped out by now. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be for this truck or another truck. We don't know. We have no clue what truck it's going to be, because I know there's tattletales in the world and I got to be careful what I do. So, as I said earlier, I built you an emission compliant truck that is fun to drive, that gives you better fuel economy, that has better performance, outperformed the best diesel in the segment. I did that. Banks, thank you for that. You guys rock. You killed it. This truck is the best truck I've ever owned because of the upgrades that I've done. That cold air intake alone has paid for everything I've done on this truck. I'm dead serious. After 2 years, for sure, because my fuel economy continues to stay consistently 4 to 5 mpg better than what it was when it was factory. With that being said, the only thing that's missing is the exhaust from Banks. And I know some people will say it doesn't make a difference, but I've actually done some tests with Josh on a Ram truck and it does make a difference for sure. Now, I did do it. My ECM's gone by the time you see this video, and I'm going to be building a book. I just built you a book on the Banks catalog. These upgrades make a big difference to your truck. Whether you buy the Ram, GM, or Ford, they make cold air intakes, boost tubes for all those trucks. And if not, probably coming soon for the truck that you have. Now I'm going to build a book on doing weight loss program. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm not going to be titling these videos as a way to get me in trouble. So I'm going to be very careful what I say. And I know that some of you guys understand that. And we'll see, is deleting the truck worth it? All right, we'll find out. Pray for my transmission too. It's Sunday. Pray for my transmission. Make sure, you know, maybe the emission compliant truck is the better way to go with your upgrades. I'm just saying. Or the company that I found, they have some of the best tuning. Can't wait to introduce you guys to them. Got some parts on the way. And 4-inch exhaust versus 5-inch exhaust versus the race pipe exhaust. I got videos coming. Man, it's gonna be good. But, you know, I don't know. Should I even post these videos, right? Some of you guys won't even subscribe to the channel, but that's okay. We're gonna have fun. All my loyal subscribers, I can't wait for you guys to see what I'm about to do. It's gonna be fun. By the way, I found an AEV bumper that's used, and I'm like trying so hard not to go buy it, but I don't know, guys. I might have to go ahead and change off this bumper. What do you guys think? In the comment section, should I do it? But yes, ECM is shipped out, and we are gonna have some fun. I can't wait. Thank you, Banks, again for all the stuff you've done for me on this truck. I'm gonna keep everything on here for the most part. I'm even gonna keep the Derringer on because I like that the Derringer protects my transmission, and I'm hoping that until they get the transmission tuning down with these trucks, hopefully I could just have that act as a line of defense through the shifts. So that's what I'm gonna be doing here. So I'll leave it on level 2 on like on the base map, and then with the tune, it's going to add like 125 horsepower. But if I can knock that down, if I can put it like at 50 horsepower, that's probably what I'm going to be doing. But yes, subscribe to the channel, make sure your bell notifications are on. Peace.